You are actually. Although I think you've probably got a bit of entertaining you as well.
And a bit of a director.
A bit
I keep
director.
that under wraps because my nearest and dearest.
So, what tends to happen is that when you meet with these sort of people, ideally you want to have different types of techniques. You can't talk to a director in the same way you talk to a supporter. Yeah? And what happens is that directors don't really like thinkers and supporters because they think they're too slow, because they're working at 100 miles an hour. Thinkers and supporters tend to be scared of directors because they feel very intimidated because they're very direct and they just like to talk. They actually get to know people. They're not results focused necessarily. They're more about the process or about the feelings of the person. The entertainer and the director, guess what? They get on really well. Do you know why? Because the entertainer is usually quite thick-skinned. They don't really think about what people think about them that much. It's like to make jokes. They don't really think about what they're doing. They're very much like out there. They're very chatty. So entertainers and directors tend to get on very well. So that's why somebody in the room here, Parish, probably realizes why I get on with the other director in our office, because he's very direct and I'm very chatty. Yeah. Now you know the secret. You didn't know before, did you? Okay, then supporters. Supporters tend to be very sweet-natured, have lots of friends because they're always nice to everybody. So have a think in your head which one you are, because you will be tested. We will find out. There's somebody watching you just there. You see that person in the back? They're looking at you. I'm just joking. They're going to take a note of which one you are, and they're going to report you for which one you are, yeah? Okay. So have a think of which one you are, because if you know which one you are, then you can manage your particular relationship strategy, okay? So I'm going to now go through all the detail, but I'm not going to spend time going through it, because I think it's better to keep it high level, and we can actually do some interactive sessions. Who's excited about the interactive session?
Yeah. Get them up.
What's all that? I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Someone said you've got a sign cue for me here. So, a bit louder, please.
Yeah.
If you're excited, then you need to stand up. Stand up if you're excited. Come on, stand up. So, anybody who's not going to stand up, I'm going to read out their name. You can sit down again now, because you need to actually get the blood rushing. I'm going to read out your two names then. I remember your names as well. Adrian and Anne. I remember everybody's names, by the way, and I meet them. It's kind of weird, isn't it? You're a stalker. Okay, so relationship strategies. Now you've got the answers here. So Alan Sugar, very direct. He's a very direct person. And they tend to be more guarded as well. They don't really open up to what they're thinking or doing. Socializers, they tend to be very open like that, and they're very direct as well. And Amanda Holden, just in case you didn't recognize her, is indirect and open. So they don't like to talk openly about their feelings necessarily, and they feel a bit overwhelmed if you start questioning them. Yeah. And then you got the thinker, which is obviously Einstein. He's very indirect and he's very guarded, so they tend to be quite close personalities. So, not being weird, but is a bit weird this bit now, is most people that sit in the back of the room tend to be guarded. So who's sitting in the back of the room, put your hands up. And they're the ones, actually most of those guys, the ones that didn't stand up. You notice that? There we go. So I'm not trying to point fingers or anything at you guys in the back necessarily. Maybe a bit.
So Lakhi, they like to be are they the thinkers and the directors at the back?
So I think they're more thinkers. They tend to be, they like to think through things before they do anything. And they don't really like to be sitting in the front, because that will be more, people at the front are more likely to be entertainers. And maybe even directors, because they just want to get to the result. It's not always a perfect theory, because sometimes directors can't find a seat in the front. They'll like to sit in the back because they haven't got a choice. Yeah? Right. So these are the this sort of tells you the types of behaviors you get based upon that chart. But I'm not going to spend time going through them, because I actually, I'm going to just give you this one summary, which summarizes everything. So the person that's really soft person, the relator, you could call it, supporter, you've got different names for it, would be somebody who's very, very listened. They tend to be, the weakness tends to be they're indecisive. They tend to be, they don't like insensitivity. So they tend to be under stress. They tend to sort of crumble in and say, yes, I'll do that. Oh, yes, please, okay. Yeah, they're a little bit like that. Their decisions tend to be consultative. They seek acceptance, and they need friendships. They don't like sudden changes. They like a routine. Their motivation is they need to be involved in something, and their goal is stability. Now, if something's going to happen, they need to know how to affect them personally. They don't look at things from a results basis. They are very friendly. They don't like conflict, and they want support of their feelings. And they focus on actually good communication. Now, in your head, decide whether you're one of those. I'll be very honest, I think I'm actually a supporter. The truth is out now. I actually think I'm a supporter, you know that. Well, all that time I hadn't looked at this for about 10 years. Right, okay. I'm a supporter. It's a revelation.
Does anyone else think you're a supporter?
I do. I think he's a supporter.
There we go. So this wasn't meant to be like opening me up for interrogation. But I've done it myself, so it's self-analysis in the public domain. So I probably am a supporter because I like to be very helpful. I think I don't really like to be challenging people necessarily, but my role actually means when I'm out in the field talking to clients, I have to actually be lots of these. And I'm going to come on to which is a perfect one to be later as well. So thinkers like planning, they're perfectionists. They don't like unpredictability. Under stress, they withdraw. The decisions tend to be deliberate. They're very precise, and thoroughness is actually critical to them. Sometimes being thorough is more important than getting the result, which is kind of weird. Yeah. They don't like criticism, and what excites them is actually following the process. So their goal is accuracy. What they need to know is how can they justify themselves logically. Yeah. Then they like to do things precisely. They like to save face. They don't really like to be out there talking to people. And they like procedures. They like to focus on the process. Now, I know which ones of you are possible thinkers now. But can you think in your head whether you're a processor or not? Who is happy to sort of just maybe talk about their processing ability? Because I suppose if you're a processor, you probably wouldn't want to admit it, because you probably want to stand up in the public audience, so it defeats the whole object of asking the question, doesn't it? Why didn't I think of that? So, but is anybody who's a brave thinker? Anybody thinks that they're a thinker? Would be good to actually. So one person's admitted it. Is it Leo, isn't it?
Yes.
Leo and gentleman there, Sam. Right. I think it's a thinker. So a lot of people that are in tech, but IT, tend to be very processed. And sometimes very successful business people actually are in sort of thinking backgrounds, but they've developed the coping skills with these other weird people, the thinkers, because they think, directors, what are those, man? Just talking to us in a weird way. Socializers, why are they making jokes for? Why can't they just follow the process? Listeners, why are you just using your feelings to deal with these issues when you can actually be thinking about the process and follow the process logically? Now, have any of you thinkers had these weird people talk to you and that sort of you realize that what's going on with them? Now you know that there's no need to be frustrated, because all these things there, they're just based upon the profile of that person. They can't help it because that's who they are. Exciting. Now, director. So they tend to be born leaders. They just literally tell you what to do, that's the direction we're taking, and they're not really going to go back down on anything. So they rather sort of die on their sword and give it 100 miles an hour than to turn back. They'll say, my way or the highway. They're impatient, they get irritated by indecision. They're dictatorial, decisive, they seek productivity, they need control, they don't like being hustled. So if they think that you're telling them something, you're not being honest, that's actually their biggest irritation. They think, you're trying to hustle me? Right, you watch what I'm going to do to you, yeah? So winning, they like to win, they like control, they need to know what something does, when it's going to happen, what the cost is. Now, they like to get things done rapidly, and they like to save time. They're very, very goal-orientated, and what they do is, if you have a conversation with them, they'll want a result. Now, how many of you I think you are directors?
Anita is 100%.
Actually, when I met Anita yesterday, I was quite scared, She said she didn't want to talk to me because she only talks to people that are get results, and I thought, I'm just a pure supporter. What are you picking on me for?
The entertainer, I just tap dance next to her.
That's right. So you've got the entertainer and the director.
Yeah.
Do you know if Anna wasn't an entertainer, there wouldn't be any other profile that Anita would actually get on with, because you'll think the thinker's too slow, the process takes too long to talk to people and feel things through. So the only type of person that Anita and Anna can get on with is, I'm actually reading their minds, like this Blaine type situation.
Does that mean we're stuck together? Because no one else will work with me.
But I think it's, joking aside, that's the profile. You can see now it's all blending together. Now, moving on to the socializer, which is probably the most exciting of people. They tend to be sort of people like estate agents, to be honest, or people that tend to be into sales or business development. So they tend to be very persuasive. They tend to be disorganized. They don't like routine. They tend to be sarcastic. They tend to be spontaneous. They love to be the center of attention. So Anna, where are you?
Give me in the centre somewhere.
I would have been at the front, but I need to talk to the
I can actually see Anna's ray of sunshine from here, you know that? I can actually feel it from here, seriously, I'm not even kidding. So they tend to be, they seek applause. So can we give her applause? Sorry, Anna, I know you like it really.
I wanted to read that poem yesterday, though. That's right. I was like, I'll read it.
Fantastic. So she's actually happy to actually follow. She's not quite like that, I'm sure, but so these are the very extreme examples of what entertainers are like. I'm sure she's got all the better qualities of the entertainer.
No.
Okay, so applause. They seek approval. They fear rejection. They like the chase. They like to actually they know that they've won something. They like recognition. They know how to enhance. They like to enhance their status and their visibility. They want to do something. They want to do it in such a dynamic way. They just want to get it done. They whoosh. Yeah. They don't really like to hang about. So you'll find that they're super quick at getting things done. So I actually enjoy being the entertainment, socializer or entertainer profile the most, because it's the most fun. So I can actually just go into that profile and be like that all day in the office with people. And then what happens is I get things done. So I usually switch from one to the other, 10 minutes a second. So they do things dynamically. They don't like effort. They like their ideas to be supported, and they love interaction. So that covers pretty much everything I wanted to say, and all these other bits that I've got shows you a lot more detail about how they work or interact together. But I'm going to give you all these slides so you can do all the thinkers can do all the reading, The entertainers can skip over it because it's boring, because they don't like reading. The directors will read all of it and use it for results straight away. And the relator will look at it from a feelings point of view and say, I'm not sure if I feel that's right, that I want to know everybody's life, so I may not want to read it. So if that's going on in your head, then that's what you are. Yeah? Okay. So these are the strategies you should use to actually deal with these type of people. So it tells you, but I'm not going to go through them now. I'm actually going to go through a physical exercise of actually going through them because we've had enough of what's going on. So I'm going to go back to this bit here. Right, so I need 4 volunteers, please. Right, so if you get this young lady, what's your name?
Karen.
Come up, please. Karen, what's your surname? What do you do?
McNess. Karen McNess. I have a service accommodation business.
Fantastic. Where are you based?
Crawley.
Crawley, and it's Karen. Karen, we'll have a little conversation in a second. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, just to let you know, there's nothing weird going on. just trying to ask her what profile she is without you knowing. Yeah? You have to try and guess what profile she is by asking her questions. Right, so second profile, second person. So both can you come up first? Gentlemen, what's your first name? I remember you telling me this. Sorry? Richman. Richman. I keep calling, he said Richard yesterday, it's so noisy and I'm deaf. I said, it's Richman. He said, that's Richard. I said, is it Richman? He goes, yeah, it's Richman. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the secret question as well. Right, he's told me all his secrets.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I'm gonna have because we're gonna be sort of PC, but there'll be a lady and a gentleman. Right, young lady there. What was your name? Jemima, that's right. 1 second. I'm gonna try and make it quicker. Right, we need 1 more person. He seems very keen, so we have to get him in. What's your name, sir? Simon, nice to meet you. Just grab the seat, just move down the tiny bit. Stand in a straight line, like my name's school. Let's stay there. Now, these guys are going to stay quiet. They're not going to say anything at all, right? What you're going to do is we'll do about 5 funny things. And the first one is to look at each person, and they're only going to be 4 profiles. You see the profiles in the back, right? So just based upon clothes, we're going to do. Everybody's sort of trying to guess in their head which one they are. So, give us your name again, sir.
Karen.
Right, Karen. So, based upon what she's wearing, can you assess what profile she might be?
Relator.
Okay. Now, you're not allowed to say anything, by the way. If you say anything, then you get a fine. Yeah. The fine is that you get lunch with me. Yeah?
Fine lunch.
So you can all have lunch now because we'll start talking. But anyway, so basically you think she's a socializer based upon that. But you've got to keep quiet, yeah? Don't tell them. Next gentleman, what profile is he? Just going to look at his body language, look at his face.
Thinker.
Look at his face,
Director.
look at his body language, look at his clothes.
Drag queen.
That's exactly what he said. You got that right. No, okay, you're joking. He's going to get aggressive if he's a director, yeah? Because he doesn't like insults, yeah? Okay. So, all right, so that's number 2. Number 3, young lady here.
Supporter.
I told her not to smile. So would you like to come forward here, because we can't really see you. So what profile is he, this gentleman here?
We think he's a director.
Socialiser.
Okay, now stand back. What I want to do is I'm going to speed this up a bit because I'm conscious of time. How much time do you have? 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so I've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a thinker for you, isn't it? No, it's 3 minutes, 3 minutes 40.
Yes.
2 minutes 50. Okay, sorry. Can't help it. That was me being an entertainer, sorry. Right, now, you got one person in the audience that can ask a question. Anybody like to ask a question of each person? And that question will actually go to the question number 1 over here. Go for it. Yep.
You like networking?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just one question and just 3-word answers. Next question for the next person, but make it quick. Yep.
Do you plan to-do lists? Yes.
Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3. Question? Yep. Oliver.
Do you have much patience?
Do you have much patience?
Yeah.
No, okay. That might be a giveaway. All right. That's a good answer, 1 line as well. And next one for Jamal. Yeah.
Do you like solving problems?
Solving problems, yes.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a bit more difficult now. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask one of you in the audience to come up, who's actually going to ask all a question. And what you have to do is you're going to try and pitch a question for them where you're going to get a yes for them for something. So is anybody's got, I'm going to instruct you what to do. Is somebody willing to come in and help? I think this young lady with the glasses, she looks inquisitive. What's your name? Come up and then you look inquisitive. So we're going to try another exercise now. So what's going to happen is that this lady is going to, what she's going to do is she wants to actually get a result from these guys, and her result is that she wants one of them to actually pay for her lunch today. But there's no lunch today, yeah? But this is just all not, it's all fictional, so you're not obliged to have a lunch. They're not obliged to give you lunch. But what you're going to do is you're going to convince them, each one of them, by asking 3 questions to take you out for lunch. And then what we'll do is, based upon the profile, we'll work out which one said yes because of their profile. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easy for you. She's a director profile, so she's going to get the result.
Thank you. Hi everyone.
It's just a drama exercise, you don't have to worry about it too much.
Do I have a limit on the questions? Or?
You've got 3 questions for each person.
Okay, how long you are running your business? Your service accommodation business?
4.5 years.
Okay, and do you have a system for your next few years? What are you looking to increase in your profile?
I'm diversifying at the moment, so it's not, I'm working on diversifying.
Okay, will you be keen to work with someone who have built a similar profile and scale the business more, just to expand it?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
You're going to convince her for lunch. So she's going to convince her to take you out for lunch and pay £20.
Okay, £20. Would you like to know more about how you can make your business more profitable and maybe you have space in your diary for the next few months or?
Yeah, I have space in my diary for, I'm quite busy at the moment, but I've got a lot of stuff on right now, but yeah, in the next few months, potentially.
Yeah, convince her. Director.
Okay, would you like to take me for lunch then? How fun is that?
Today I can't, I'm sorry. I've got something else on.
Not today. Well, shall we speak about the end of the month?
Yeah, let's connect and we can have lunch another time.
Just ask. Basically, just to get exercise. Got
Would
2
you pay
minutes.
£20 for my lunch so I can present you all the opportunities for your business, so where you can improve your business?
No.
Okay, fine. So next one, same questions.
Okay.
Same questions.
How long
Try-
you
try
been
to-
running your business?
From September.
From September, and what you are looking to increase in your business in the next few years?
Sell more property.
Okay.
Just ask the questions, everyone. We got limited time.
Would you like to take me for lunch and pay for my lunch?
What you bring to the table?
I'm a property investor. I've been investing for over 6 years and have construction business, so I can teach you how to manage the properties, how to sell it quicker, or how to make sure that your renovations get smoother, so you can find the buyers quicker or find the deals easier.
You're gonna find buyers, yeah?
Yeah.
Got
Good lunch.
Alright,
Okay.
next, third one.
Hi. So just want to ask you, how long you been running your business?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. And do you have systems in place what you like to achieve in the next few years?
I've got a few, but not enough. So I'm looking to do some more.
Okay.
Closing question.
Would you like to take me for a lunch and pay £20?
You sound really, really interesting. So yeah,
Thank you.
let's do it.
I'm getting there.
Right, third one.
How long you been running your business?
more than 7 years.
Excellent. Would you like to take me for lunch and pay £20?
Yeah, why not? You like to take me for lunch and pay me?
Next lunch I'll pay.
Okay, so thank you very much. Give me a round of applause. So, very sorry to embarrass Indra like that, because normally she wouldn't ask people for lunch. So it was just a mock exercise, just for a warning out there for anybody out there asking for lunches. This was just a drama scene. It wasn't real acting. Now, from that was, she was acting out a director profile, although she's been quite nice as well, but she's technically a director profile, but she obviously didn't want to show that on there because they're not weird people either. Right, so she's basically acted out a direct style for me. Based upon that, I want your final on it, what they are now, based upon what you've understood. So what profile is this young lady? Okay, so she could be an entertainer or a director, yeah? Okay, and this young man? Rich man?
Director.
Director. Okay, and this young lady, Jamil? Jemima, sorry. What's Jemima now? Supporter, okay. And this young man here? Thinker. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do is they're going to shout out what they are, and I'm going to also give you a caveat to what they say as well, and I'll explain to you why. So, Karen, what profile do you think you are?
Supporter.
Okay, that's supporter over here. Now, if push comes to the shove, I'm going to give you an extreme example. In a really difficult situation, let's just say somebody's about to jump off a building or something, what would you do?
I would go and interact with them.
Okay, so you interact with them. And what would you say to them?
I would talk them down. I would try my best to talk them down.
Okay, anyway, hold it there for a second. Richard?
Same question.
Yeah.
I put money on that they did.
Now, which profile are you first of all?
I think I'm more biased to be quite direct.
So it's a director profile. Okay, I'm going to finish. Okay, going to finish up, wrap off now. So Richard is director profile. You are socializer profile and thinker profile. Now, what I'm trying to say to you is that in extreme situations when something happens, their profile will come out. So, for example, if we're all held hostage and I'm going to get shot, the entertainer would probably make a joke. The supporter would probably be crying or upset. The director would probably want to have a fight with the guy that's trying to shoot me. And this young lady would be sort of upset about it. The thinker probably want to be processing things and think, should I ring the police? Should I not? Should I be doing it? Maybe should I? I'm not quite sure. Okay, on that note, thank you very much, everybody. A pleasure speaking to you all. And happy relationships. Thank you very much for the people here. last thing I wanted to say to all of you is, have you got a LinkedIn account on your phone?
Yes.
If you typed in Lakhi, L-A-K-H-I, and Singh, S-I-N-G-H, you can see all my dance videos. So I think they wanted me to try and perform. So rather than me having to perform now, I'm going to get you guys to just go into LinkedIn and you can see me dancing on there. But as I did actually promise Jane, I'm going to do a bit of dancing. Has anybody got any music? Because I can't dance with that music, can I? If you haven't got it, I can't dance, can I?
Someone get their phone out.
Has anybody got any music? Fantastic, there's no music, so I don't have to dance, do I? No? Okay, perfect. All right.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
So I'll tell you, I think, sorry, say again? 2 minutes of dancing.
No, let's find something.
All right, so we've got 1 minute of dancing.
Yeah.
That's too fast.
All right, doesn't matter, I'm going to dance to anything. I think Jemima's going to find me some better music. I think you're a bit old house or something, is it? From 80s or
I wanted to
something?
see you shake it, Lakhi. I wanted to see you shuffle.
All right, so one last chance for music, and I think you want to come over here.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
That's a nice tune.
This was good.
Oh.
This is
This is never going to happen again, by the way. James, say it about 30 times.
have a dance off.
No, I'm going to have a dance off.
Yes, that's good.
Pocket NBA vibe coming on. Pocket NBA. That's I'm tired now. Thank you, Jane. So that's going to be one to remember. I saw it in the Pocket NBA for the first time. Thank you again for everybody for your time. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you.